Hello, people, everybody. Welcome back to Lesh. Last time I prepared for a video like this, I think, if I recall, I think we were talking about CAFLs and illegal drawings of children. Okay, and hopefully today is better. I think the word is better, right? Because that was no good. This is no good. We're talking about human rights. Okay, we're talking about what an idiot Ethan from H3 is today. That's what we're talking about. I don't know. This video is going to be titled something fun, like "In Defense of Hasan Piker," or it might be called that, or like something, either that or something about how, I noticed at some point in this video, Ethan was trying to make points. He's really just kind of owning himself, and like he's like proving Hasan's points, and so Ethan's really lost his touch, but that's what's going on today. And basically, we're going to be reacting to H3's content nuke on Hasan, and we've got some points to go through, and we're going to talk about some various things, and I think you're going to see that Ethan is kind of an idiot for this, and because he used to make really good videos, and like this is a video that I could have made, probably, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of thought that went into this. He really hyped it up, and for nothing. All right, let's just get started. And so, okay, wait. First thing up top that I don't know if I want to, you know what? I do want to complain about it. Is if we look over here, Ethan has a fucking all right. Wait. Okay. Wait. Ethan has a fucking 1 minute intro to his content nuke. I feel like I lost half you fuckers in my intro, and I was talking the whole time. This is just a random compilation of Hasan. See, something about Vishnu, and then just a nuke and pictures of Hasan. So, first off, fuck off, Ethan, because I can't do shit for attention. But whatever. That's like and subscribe. If you're still around, comment. I don't know, something. Leave a comment. But none of you are around anymore. Nobody's watching this anyway. So by the way, I like that he's watching. Like it kind of like, because he's doing this ironically. It's low-key, I feel like it's low-key not ironic, and he's just like obsessed with Hasan in the way that he'll just watch Hasan. Like it seems like he would just watch Hasan stream, and like he would hope to clip chimp Hasan, you know what I mean? And it's like this grown man. Apparently, I'm not gonna pull the clip up because it's in another video and it's gonna take forever. But Hasan said he's worth $100 million, $100 million, and it's crazy to me. I don't know. I can't wait to be rich so I can spend my. I guess you know what? I don't know if I would spend my time any different because I was gonna say just doing useless random shit, but that's what I do now anyway. So, but I want to do it while being rich. So that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so anyway, also like I don't even, we don't really even need to listen to his intro. There's nothing that he's saying in particular that's important right now, but he really looks, he's got this new like heroin chic look to him, but it's not in a good way. It's like Ozempic, but also you're starving yourself. I don't know. It's it doesn't look good. It's a really rough look. Cause see, this is how he used to look, and like, I mean, he's not. Like, people have looked better for sure. Yeah, I don't know. He looks like some type of. He's like a skeleton with skin now. Look at him. He looks like a skeleton. It's real weird. Look at those nose bones. Was that racist? Sorry. Anyway, moving on. All right, go to 4 minutes and 20 seconds. That's what we're going to do next. We're going to go to 4 minutes, and we're going to act like that joke wasn't just told.
Country with multiple parties, and one of the parties is a capitalist party, which would surely exist. Yeah.
What would you do if that party started gaining momentum?
The solution to that would always be education and offering more
Re-education?
re-education, certainly. Yeah. There should be.
First of all, it's reasonable to believe that Ethan is saying re-education, ironically.
An enforcement mechanism, and in that enforcement mechanism, I think like rehabilitation, which would include re-education as well.
If putting capitalists in re-education camps.
Okay, now he says camps for no reason, out of nowhere, and he brought up the camps. It's reasonable to think that he's like, oh, re-educate, like that's facetious, but now nobody said camps until Ethan said camps, so it's just like, and we're 4 minutes into the video, and this is already this is already the level of logic. You can already see the level of logic that's going to be implemented throughout this video, and it's a real omen of things to come. Oh yeah, I wanted to see if because this page refreshed, but last time the recommended video was from Cody Ko, and it's just side note on Cody Ko, but that watching his new videos are it's like uncanny valley. Somebody said, me and somebody were talking about it, and that was it's really weird because he doesn't address it. He tries to upload like nothing ever happened, and if you don't know, he statutory raped somebody for sure, and now he's just going about his life. But no, yeah, his videos are really fucking weird now. They're it's wild. It's I don't know what else you would expect, but it's just a wild thing to witness. So anyway, all right, this is this point. We can go now to 1452. Oh yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get real worked up for a second, and then we're gonna settle back down as the video goes down, or as the video goes on. He said dismantle, and then I said down is what. So I got confused, and all right. Anyway.
Howard, yes.
The problem is that Israel's been at war with its neighbors for 70 plus years.
Whose fault's that?
And it makes a lot of sense that there be some distrust there. Is it really?
Okay, so what the context is that they're talking about how October 7th should have been handled, and Hasan said peacefully, and Ethan saying, well, we can't trust it, so no, and this is a continuation of that. So let's see.
Is it really insane to think that Jews, as an ethnic minority in Israel, would not be safe? After all, Israel is a country of refugees. If the Jews didn't come from Europe after the Holocaust, they came from the surrounding Arab countries that expelled them in massive amounts following the 1948 war.
The 1948 war. Does that go by any other names? Does anybody know? Okay, so for sake of clarity right now, Ethan is arguing that in the 1948 war, which is also known as the Nakba, but we'll get there because he actually acknowledges the Nakba, which it's good for him. It's good for him as a Zionist. But anyway, so he's putting forth the idea that more Jews were displaced than Palestinians were displaced at this time. Now, what you have to consider is that Palestinians were displaced from Palestine to Gaza in the West Bank, right? That was their displacement. Whereas the Jews' displacement was from all over Europe to modern-day Israel, or at the time, Palestine. So, of course, there were more Jews displaced. But that... does that make sense? Do you see what I'm saying?
In fact, there was more Jews
it gets better
than Palestinians during the Nakba. 1 million Jews. All of these surrounding...
Okay. It gets even better now. Because more Jews were displaced during the Nakba. You mean that they took over territory? He's calling settling displacement, right? And it's almost the inverse of displacement, if you think about it. But I can't be racist, but it's like, that's such a hasbara ass argument. That there. I said it non-racially. That's such a hasbara ass argument. If you know what that means, then you know what that means. If you don't know what that means, then don't worry about it. But like that's such hasbara logic. It's such a like baby logic that, you know what I mean? It's like oh well they move well that's displacement, and it's like no they moved because their territory expanded. So
countries had vibrant Jewish communities in huge number, hundreds of.
Yeah, so now he's talking about the other Middle Eastern countries.
Close to, if not literally, 0 Jews left in these.
Look at this. Okay, so now he's saying like, oh yeah, since 1948, all of these countries have like gone way down in Jewish population. By the way, this Afghanistan, 1 known Jew. Okay. There used to be 2 known Jews in Afghanistan, and they hated each other. And I got to make a video about that. Somebody remind me in the comments to make a video about the Jews in Afghanistan. That's a really fun story. So, because they refused to, we'll get into it in another video. But anyway, it's like, so yeah, since 1948, the Jews in this region have. See, it's like, oh, well, they've fled from all of these countries. Question, where did they go? Either America or Israel, right? And now, the thing about that is they fled violence and discrimination. The violence was coming from Israel, right? They probably moved to Israel because they were like, well, I know I'm a Jew, so I'm safe in Israel. But, if you're another one of these countries, if you're Syria or like Iran, especially if you're Iran or like Iraq, you just might get the shit bombed out of you, and like, there's nothing you can do about it. And so if you're a Jew, then of course you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna move to Israel where they're shooting the bombs from, so I don't get hit with a bomb. That's what I'm thinking. So it's, I don't know. Again, it's very, is that first order logic? It's like 0th order logic. It's not even logic. It's just like, oh, well, look at this fact. And it's like, okay, but why is that why would that be true? And then, okay, all right. Because I was going to say, and then the Jews are all safe in Israel until, I should probably shut up, but they're all safe in Israel until something like October 7th happens, and then nobody is safe in Israel, and it's the end of the fucking world, All right, anyway, sorry. Moving on. 2443. Let's see what happens to 2443. Oh yeah, this is, all right. This is about to get unhinged.
In terms of like everything that he's done.
Then I saw clips like this where Hasan is explaining how he's hiding his power level to funnel in normies into radicalization.
I think.
All right. Sick deployment of the use of the term power level. It's militaristic. It's masculine. It's what you love to. It really gets you going. That's fucking. Like power level, and he's hiding his power level. It's like, damn, I gotta increase my power level. Like an angry dog. The fuck am I saying? All right. Anyway.
That in the short term, in order to combat against that, you have to advocate for a much lighter form of propaganda. You want America in the way that I feel about it, and if you want America.
Okay, so basically, it's some podcast clip. I've never seen the podcast. He doesn't cite the podcast, which if you were because I saw the fucking timeline that he tweeted of the of his video, and it's like, if you weren't lazy, you would cite your sources, but he just doesn't do that for some reason. Like, most of them are from the Destiny subreddit, probably. That's why he doesn't cite everything. But so he doesn't know where this podcast really came from. But basically, all Hasan is saying that to start people into thinking about socialism, which Hasan is a socialist. You have to start with, these lighter forms of like, equality and like, or people like, should have equal opportunities, that kind of thing. And, like, it starts there, and then it increases to like, well, we should help the people who don't have opportunities. And then, before you know it, you're communist. And, you see what I'm saying? So like, it starts off light, and that's all that he's describing, basically.
And then I had a terrifying vision.
That was a sick. Okay, I'm sorry, but that was a because I fucked it up now. But I timed that I clicked perfectly on the next clip where I wanted, which is this clip.
I had a terrifying vision. Had I been duped? Was Hasan presenting a Trojan horse to my community, where he was just a left-leaning Democrat like myself, and as he said in the previous video, was funneling them into radicalization and turning them against me?
Liberals are some...
I think it was like in the Denim, I saw a Denims clip about it where it's like, oh yeah, like you're a fucking 45-year-old man, and like this is like accusing him of grooming you. But it's like he radical, like, okay. So what Hasan was doing before in that last clip was explaining how to, come off lightly and not sound like a crazy person, right? So let's fast forward to this, where Ethan is coming off like a crazy person, where it's like, well, then I realized that he was lying to me from the beginning, because why? Because he told you, he explained his exact MO to you. It's like, what, like, he didn't Trojan horse you. He told you what he was going to do. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's kind of not his fault that he turned your community against you. Because, like, I watched Leftovers when it existed, you know what I mean? And, like, so I was an Ethan Klein fan enough to watch Leftovers. Like, it wasn't Hasan that turned Ethan's community against him. And that's why Ethan's so dumb for making this video, and that's what he's failing to realize throughout all of this entire process, is that he is the one who is like radical. Like, okay, it's your fault for radicalizing your community by exposing them to ideas of people like Hasan, right? But they've turned against you because of the things that you're saying and the things that you're doing and how you're acting. And then really also on top of that, like, this is why I'm turning against you now, is because you're a fucking petulant child about this shit, who, like, you talked for 6 months about making this YouTube video, and it came out like dog shit. Like, this is your worst content nuke yet, for sure, and it's not close. If anything, it's shown, like, the radicalization of Ethan against his community over the past, year and a half or whatever the fuck. And, like, earlier, like, he's showing clips of, like, there's a clip of Hasan on Piers Morgan, and Hasan says, like, no, I am a propagandist. And then Ethan's like, see, he says he's a propagandist. And it's like, so if he turned your community against you, though, isn't he a good propagandist then? Like, didn't he just kind of get you? Like, he's a good propagandist. That's what that is. Like, okay, like, hand it to him. Don't fucking, like, yeah, no. Instead, let's be a child about this and make it an hour and a half YouTube video. And then now I'm yapping, so probably my video about this is going to be an hour and a half, because how far are we into this? 22 minutes, all right. But whatever. We'll see. Just yeah. Hang in there, folks.
People on the fucking planet, dude.
I learned how much he hates liberals.
Dude, I hate liberals, dude. I do. I hate them. I hate liberals.
It says to end at 24:30. So what's over here? Because it just said he hates liberals a bunch of times. Okay, here we go.
Incredibly stupid.
Someone this sociopathic.
Petulant liberals. Dumb fucking liberals.
Hey, I just used the word petulant.
Someone this sociopathic capable of.
Liberals are some of the easiest
What is somebody this sociopathic capable of?
people on the fucking planet.
Was I being manipulated this whole time?
That was my fear anyway. Regardless of his true beliefs, that broke my trust in him, and I pretty much ended the show immediately. And
Oh, okay. That's what ended the show. It wasn't the hate that. Okay.
for my participation in mainstreaming Hasan, and for
It's not that it has nothing to do with the fact that everybody turned on you after your horrible takes on that Leftovers episode, right?
that, I apologize. I should have done more research.
Where everybody was crying and it was like a disaster, and then you didn't make an episode. Okay.
More deeply into who I was getting in bed with before they gave me chlamydia.
You should have looked into it more deep, dude. You've had 100 episodes with the guy, didn't you? How many?
Over the past year since the show ended, I continue to watch Hasan platform, promote, and
Like, my thing is, why did it take the war in Gaza to for you to figure out that Hasan had, like, I don't know. I feel like Hasan has always kind of had these takes. So, oh yeah, did he do an ad? I think he ran an ad. What are you gonna do? I guess you gotta. Wait, he's worth $100 million. I mean, how much could an ad have been worth? We have to go to 3246. Oh yeah, okay, this is fun. Okay, so he's talking about the Houthis. This is the Houthi flag.
As you can see here, it says, translated, Allah Akbar, death to America, death to Israel, and a curse upon the Jews. And that's all of them, not just the ones in Israel. And of course, victory to Islam. I get amused when these terrorists are like, we hate Jews. We want to kill Jews. And then people like Hasan are like, you're a fucking racist for saying that they just want to kill Jews and that they're terrorists, man.
What you meant to say is Hezbollah is Muslim.
You're not thinking deep enough about this topic.
So that's what that was what I wanted him to say. He's saying that, like, okay, this is their flag, and you, like, if you think that they're anything more than what's on their flag, then you're not thinking deeply enough about this topic. That is literally his take. So, to be clear, I'm pretty sure what he's advocating for right now is literally judging a book by its cover. Is he not? Like, you're not thinking hard about this enough. And it's like, why not? Well, have you read their flag? This is genius. What a genius.
Do not factor into what they are doing. Of course, it is anti-Semitic, but contextualizing it matters. Yeah, it's really interesting because, like, that is such Western-focused propaganda. Like, for a Palestinian to arrive at anti-Semitic opinions, okay, they don't need to read Mein Kampf.
Like, did he not kind of actually cook with that opinion? Because, like, why do they hate Israel so much? You know what I mean? It's not because somebody who taught them to hate Jews. You know what I mean? It's not like we should. Okay, like, should we ask them, or are brown people just bad? And like, and that's, you know, that's that. Which would be you not thinking hard about this, right? But it's like, I wonder if they have any reasons for their beliefs, right? I wonder if we've done, what did we, because if somebody says that they hate me or they want to kill me, I would ask them, like, hey, what's the deal here? What did I do to upset you? You know, maybe we can come to an understanding, sir or ma'am, you know, depending on who I'm talking to. But, you know, it's not just like, oh, well, they want to kill me. Like, well, fuck them then. Like, yeah, we gotta be terrified. You know, it's not. It feels like it's the wrong thing to do to be terrified, right? And then, you know, but I like that this edit tried to make Hasan look as awful as possible. That was fun. That was a fun little, you know, we love that. All right, 41-14. Here we go. Oh yeah, this is sick. Wow.
This is another incident of Hasan enjoying some who-thi propaganda.
Yeah, so to be clear, he was just talking about the Houthi flag. Half this video is really about him platforming the Houthis, but we're gonna get into whatever. Like, he doesn't really have as many good points as he thinks he has. It's really amazing. I don't know, because if I had talked the video up, it would at least be a good video, which this isn't. Let's just watch.
How can they not agree with the Houthis when this is the kind of music video that they're coming out with?
This is sick. This is like objectively cool. Like, if the military made videos like this, then we might have some recruitment numbers. That's my opinion.
Got a beautiful voice too. Yeah, Israel been real quiet since this drop, dude. The fucking mixtape.
Oh,
Yeah, right. They just, yeah. What's their contribution to the world again? Imagine Dragons and weapon systems to blow up babies. And then healthcare shit that America could have done, but let them do to make them money.
my sweet, naive friend. You say that Jews don't sing and dance like that? Then what the fuck do you call this?
This is truly embarrassing. Just
That's right, bitch. What the fuck you stepping on our shit?
like you would think he's joking, but he thinks he's actually making a point, right?
Yeah, Israel been real quiet since this drop, dude. The fucking mixtape.
Dude, you're like making his points for him right now with the way you're like, see how cool we are, and it's like, wait, but this isn't cool at all. Like, this is really kind of embarrassing. Like, what are you trying to say? You know what I mean? Like, this is not the own you think it is, and it just goes on and on. It's no amount of editing.
Israel been real.
No amount of editing could have fixed this. You know what I mean? Like, it's objectively not good. 46-22. Oh yeah, this is ridiculous.
Doesn't know why that would even happen.
He's saying that they like.
So this is him platforming the Houthis. This is which is akin to speaking to a terrorist, by the way, to be clear, is akin to being a terrorist yourself, and everybody knows that.
They win over the crews on these ships, and they like win them over with their charm, and they make them hate America and the U.S. government.
That's so funny.
It is super funny, the idea of kidnapped crew members who are being forced, probably at gunpoint, to do some death to America and maybe some curse upon the Jews. And
yeah, let's teach them to say curse upon the Jews. And it's like, well, they seem into it, though, right? They seem to know what they're saying. So,
frankly, the callous disregard for the well-being of the literal hostages.
okay, so this is fun because he's talking about disregard of these hostages. And first of all, nobody looks unhappy to me. They look bored, maybe a little annoyed. That guy might be smiling. And then they look well taken care of. There's water here, and this doesn't look like pop. This looks like maybe some type of nutritional beverage. You know what I mean? They're probably gonna bring them food later. So this they seem like they're kind of well taken care of, right? Like I'm not terribly worried about anybody in this photo.
Is shocking even for somebody that loves terrorists.
That's so funny. Is there a KFC there? They're everywhere. I don't think there's a KFC in Yemen, dog.
He says they have two.
Oh, they do have KFC in Yemen?
See, that's interesting though. Isn't that kind of fun? Like that this is a genuinely interesting conversation that they're having right now between like a member of a rebel group or terrorist group and like an American citizen. He asked him about One Piece. You know what I mean? It's like is this not mildly interesting at least? No, it's Hasan should be charged as a war criminal for this. And the fact that a platform would allow this to occur in the first place, the platform should be dismantled. Twitch should be dismantled at all costs. Oh fuck, what did I hit? All right. Well, I think that was my point on that. Anyway, 50-25. Oh yeah, he also said that he said that this kid, the Yemeni's kid, the who-thi Chalamet. Look up who-thi Chalamet and you'll figure out who I'm talking about. Ethan says that he's like on the FBI's most wanted list as a terrorist, and like I got to be honest with you, I don't believe that, and I'm not gonna check because I don't really respect Ethan Klein enough to check at this point, because whether or not he was right about this would not change my opinion at all in any way. So like, I don't believe it, but I don't even care. All right, that's my stance on that. So anyway,
they're tweeting an image of a Jewish person on a pike. I don't understand what this problem.
Oh yeah, this is fun
because he is a teenager in Yemen, dude.
Talk about the bigotry of low expectations. He's a kid in Yemen, dude. What do you expect? Of course he's going to want to put a pike through a Jew's asshole and through his mouth. That's just what kids in Yemen are like, man.
And also...
But why would they think that, though? Why would kids in Yemen think that that's the thing to do to Jews? Do you know why? Is there any reason why? Is there any possible reason why?
What do you mean? It's just a person on a pike. There's no Jewish person.
So is that right? Now Ethan, the beautiful-minded journalist that he is now conflating Judaism and Zionism, which is also hasbara, and Zionists love to do that and say like, oh, this is anti-Semitic, you hate all Jews. No, I hate Zionism and I hate the things that I hate. You is what I hate. It's not Jews that are the problem. But so execution Zionists. Okay, fun tweet.
Saw something, unless I saw something.
But then Ethan is now
even a Jewish person on the pike. How exactly is a naked pike person supposed to look like a Jew for you, Hasan?
No, this is what in now Ethan is gonna make him look Jewish, and he's gonna be fun and racist with it. But it's like nobody's saying like Ethan is the only one saying it's a Jewish person on the pike. It's just a picture of a person on a pike. Like I've seen this picture of a person on a pike before. You know what I mean? This is not new. But it's new to Ethan, so it's terrorism is what it is. And it needs to be treated as such. All right. 50. Okay, this is a little bit fun. This is a little... this is controversial, but it's a little bit... All right, we'll see. Hezbollah's leader.
Nasrallah. According to Hasan Piker, this man is a brilliant freedom fighter. But before we get into that, let's see how he feels about Jewish people.
Let's see.
Choice quotes from Hezbollah's leader, Hasan Nasrallah. According to Shaul Shai, Hasan Nasrallah said in a speech delivered in Beirut, what do the Jews want? They want security and money. Throughout history,
this is right after September 11th, by the way, which is kind of funny.
Jews have been Allah's most cowardly and avaricious creatures. If you look all over the world, you will find no one more miserly or greedy than
The word is miserly, Ethan, and as a Jew, is it racist to say that he should know the word miserly? Because I'm kidding, but I do love that he can't read. You know what I mean? Also, by the way, before you read this quote, he called this man. I can't. All right, whatever. He called him a freedom fighter, and then he's also saying that he hates the Jews. So it's okay, if he's a freedom fighter, who do you think that he's fighting? What did you think this was? Who's his enemy?
Cowardly and avaricious creatures. If you look all over the world, you will find...
If you're a freedom fighter, you have to have an op. You know what I mean? Their op is the Jews. So now you're mad at him for hating Jews, and it's no, that's my whole thing, though, is that I don't like Jews or Zionists. I don't know if I mean, this is kind of a funny quote, though, that just he's just calling Jews greedy. It's kind of funny. Just to imagine a guy giving a speech and then be by the way, the Jews are just so greedy. You know that? Can anybody? I'm asking the crowd here. Can anybody name somebody greedier than a Jew? Anybody? Anyone? I don't know. It's a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. If we search the entire. All right, we gotta not dwell on this because I'm gonna get in trouble now.
Despicable, weak, and feeble in psyche, mind, ideology, and religion, we would not find anyone like the Jew. Notice, I do not say Israel.
I think he's funny, in the way you find your old racist uncle funny. You know what I mean? It's funny.
All gathered in Israel, it will save us the trouble of going after them worldwide.
I have no comment.
The history of Jews has proven that, regardless of the Zionist proposal, they are a people who are evil in their ideas. The state of the grandsons of apes and pigs, the Zionist Jew, the murderers of the prophet.
Did they murder prophets, though? They murdered Jesus. Or no, that was who murdered? Wasn't it the Jews that killed Jesus? Is that true? So they did kill prophets. Point Hezbollah, I think. I'm really gonna get in trouble for this part of the video. I gotta stop. I should move on. I gotta stop talking. Okay, this is what. Okay, now I disavow this. This quote has gone too far.
Jews invented the legend of the Nazi atrocities.
I don't
see. That's. I'm not gonna agree with that one. And with that, let's move on to forward. All right, what's the next time, Sam? Adam, hurry. 34. Okay, so Ethan's narrating this clip that has to be blurred.
The footage from an older woman in the van. I attempt to narrate it for you as best I can. In this scene, an older woman is walking hand in hand with a girl who looks about 12. And as they're getting in the back of the van, one of the terrorists gives them a wave.
Yeah, so he's talking about they got it's a hostage release situation and they're getting along. Everybody's having a fun time with it.
Goodbye, and says goodbye to them in English.
Goodbye.
And the two of them smiling wave back.
That's crazy, dog. Dude. Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. That actually, okay, that's too much. That's
It's kind of funny.
I expect. Bro, every time they're releasing hostages, the next wave they're gonna be like, actually, I'm good. I'm staying.
These hostages are being released at gun.
This is, yeah, all right, run this back. Listen to Ethan.
I'm staying.
These
Because Hasan's making a funny point that I agree with, which is these hostages that, I don't know. Everybody was always raped and tortured until... Anyway, moving on. But this is Ethan's point now, which is fun.
Hostages are being released at gunpoint by the people who likely murdered their family.
At gunpoint, they're being released. Why do they have guns? That's my question. Do they have guns to shoot the hostages, or do they have guns to shoot the Israelis that they're giving the hostages to, right? By the way, do you guys remember that time when the Israelis killed 3 of their own hostages in a hostage exchange? Does anybody else remember that? I remember that. That was, it's kind of funny. It's a little bit funny. It's ironic.
In front of them, before kidnapping them. Hasan peddling this narrative that they're sad to leave their captors is beyond disgusting.
The next wave, they're gonna be like, actually, I'm good.
It's plainly obvious these are traumatized victims who are scared for their life and doing what the terrorists are telling them to do in order to avoid any conflict.
So, all right, we get it. Now,
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. This is some crazy PR. They look traumatized as fuck. Wait, what? Bro, they look like they're chilling.
This girl who had her foot blasted off on October 7th and then operated on without anesthesia or painkillers is so sorry to say goodbye to her captors.
now it's interesting that you say that. So, this poor girl who was kidnapped and had her leg blown off was operated on with no anesthesia or painkillers. So, one, at least they operated on her, right? Wasn't that nice of them to operate on a hostage? Like, I don't think they had to do that. Or if they're such barbarians, then why would they do that, right? And two is, the question would be, why don't they have any anesthesia or painkillers? Is it because nobody let them get any anesthesia or painkillers? Or is it just because they do it for fun without any anesthesia and painkillers? Because, like, if you're a doctor, would you prefer to treat somebody while they're screaming their face off, or would you prefer to treat somebody who's fucking unconscious? Like, you're not shy with the anesthesia because you think it's fun to make people suffer. This is an insane, crazy logic. Hasbara at its finest.
Propaganda videos and watch it on stream. There's no way.
Okay, it's getting hard to defend him. Freedom fighters, musical.
Okay, this is
A video that came out of how Hamas
let's check this out.
own motherfucking sniper rifles.
He can hardly contain his admiration for them.
Now that's just off rip to me. That seems like a pretty damn cool video, I gotta say. This is like if Raytheon had a take your kid to work day. I'd blend in as a kid. They're showing off. I want to see what's going on.
Produces their own motherfucking sniper rifles.
Let's see how long
They're so cool.
any commentary or analysis on this Hamas.
Okay, let's watch the Hamas video. Damn, they're just in a basement cranking it out.
Is that COD?
It's like COD. I mean, it is kind of like COD. Look at them. They're making their own ammo. What are you gonna say other than my commentary, which is just like, wow, this is cool. Oh, that's so nice and neat. See, they're serious about the cause. It almost makes you wonder why they're so serious about their cause, right?
Minute 36 seconds. Nice. He's taken his time to analyze and think. I expect nothing less from a journalist such as Hasan. Quiet everybody. This is about to speak.
Okay, I thought that this was interesting and fun, and call it whatever you want, but I thought this was, if anything, this was a good ad for Hasan's stream. And homemade guns sound fun. FBI, if you're watching this, homemade guns. I have no plans to make homemade guns. I've not researched this. Don't worry about me. But it's not fun, right? It's not cool. It's cool. It's fucking cool. They made a gun themselves, and it works. And it has replaceable parts and stuff, probably. Damn, that's kind of sick. It kind of eats. What are you gonna do? Okay, next part. This is where it goes really off. It starts getting off the rails. First of all, he starts calling Dan Clancy some type of pedophile. It's not even really important. But what timestamp do we got? All right, 24 flat.
That was the problem. They tried to pretend like.
Oh yeah, so he is making fun of Frogan for winning Streamer of the Year award twice, or upcoming Streamer of the Year, a Rising Star award 2 years in a row because, like, oh, if she was going to be a Rising Star, then you would rise already. And, like, I'm not a fan of Frogan. I don't like Frogan, but, like, also he spends a lot of time calling a nobody, doesn't he? And, like, don't you have something better to be doing? It's wild to me. It's like the schizophrenia of rich people, you know what I mean? But, okay, so now he's talking about how they have this at TwitchCon. They have this scale of, it's Frogan and, 4 other hosts, as you can see, and they're doing a tier list of who can say Habibi, which is like an Arabic word of endearment. Arab to love Sabra. Sabra is hummus, and Ethan's mad about Sabra. Okay, that's kind of what she got to know. So Ethan's mad about Sabra. He's saying that it's like part of culture, and then this would be all right.
Insane.
It's super offensive to us, and like that's actual.
So this is their take on Sabra.
Like cultural appropriation. Like people get mad when someone has like dreadlocks, and they call that culture. I'm like, come on, it's just like a hairdo. Like it's okay. People like white people are allowed to have dreadlocks if they want dreadlocks, but like actually trying to claim our food, our desserts.
Just one question.
Okay, what's your question?
Who the fuck do you think is making the hummus in Israel?
Okay, so because he's like that guy doesn't have a bad point, which is like it is kind of cultural appropriation. Like you did take that from the region, and like it is comparable to dreadlocks to call something your own, like, oh, hummus, it's an Israeli, it's like, no, it's a Middle Eastern thing. So to say it's Israeli is like to try to like brag for the Jews, and like it is kind of gross, and that's the point that they're trying to make, right? Like hopefully that makes sense, because I can't, if it doesn't make sense, I don't know what to tell you. But it is because he's like, oh, who makes all the hummus in Israel? And it's like, Israelis, obviously, because they're in Israel. It's Israeli It's like in the name. It's like but that, again, that's the kind of logic that we work with here, apparently sometimes. But like, other than that, that doesn't make it not culture appropriate. Like, where'd you get the recipe, huh? Like, okay. And then, so now I believe we have him back at, oh wait, what's he doing here?
Stealing your culture. From your country. You kicked them all out, and now you're accusing them of stealing your culture. You want to talk about cultural genocide?
You kicked them out, like, again, he's saying you kicked them out, and I would say Israelis got them to leave and come to Israel. I think it was like because you either leave like for something, like to run away for something, or towards something, right? And I think, Israel just attracted the Jews because of the way that they were treating the rest of the Middle East. But
well, here it is. You racist piece of shit. Those motherfuckers trying to take hummus and say it's Israeli is the most insane thing to me.
Hey, scumbag, here's a hummus place we used to eat at. The chef is from Yemen. Here's another dude from Syria. Does this dude look like...
So see how it's Middle Eastern? See how it's not Sabra?
This is what most Israelis look like.
Dude, the fact that they have...
See, and then he wants to say that it's like he's got to be the victim in all this. You know what I mean? Well, it's like they. Okay, what do you want them to say? They is in. She's not talking about the Yemenis people who are making hummus right now. She's talking about like Israeli Jews and what they're doing. So what do you want her to say about them other than, like, do you want her to call them Jews or call them Israelis? Like, I feel like you would be offended by that too. And then if she called them Arabs, that would upset the people that she's trying to talk about, right? Because they don't want to be Arab. They're Jewish. They're fucking Israeli. So, like, what do you want her to say? There's no winning with you. And that's many such cases of this.
Being passed around like a leftist talking point. It's exactly why people are saying that anti-Semitism is coming mostly from the left. And yes, I know this dipshit is also Jewish. Incredible. He picked up so many tokens, he actually became one. And by the way...
Alright, whatever. This is... So now it's his turn to go on the tier list.
Person is one of my favorite people. Ethan Klein.
I told you guys to clap.
This is a good reaction.
That was a good one. That's good. All right. Turn that up. Turn giraffes.
We all know where this is going.
You guys are missing a category for Zionist.
Okay, so, it's his turn. He's obviously, knowing Ethan Klein, he's upset that he's being made fun of. And now she's saying that you're a Zionist. People laugh. It's not really that funny. It's just, you kind of just are a Zionist, but whatever. This is where it gets funny.
Creators, and immediately put me in Sabra. Hasan, by the way, who's Turkish, not Arab, is Arab. That's the good, that we don't have a category low enough for Zionists. Once again, calling out my Jewish identity. And if it isn't about being Jewish,
okay.
They put Ben Shapiro in the thumbnail.
One of the other most prominent Jews on YouTube, and the category next to me, when he's not even featured in the game.
It's kind of funny.
Who's next down there? Anne Frank? Einstein?
It's kind of good.
Seth Rogen? Schindler? Well, he wasn't Jewish, but they would put him down there, let's be real.
It also doesn't help their case that both my wife and Ben Shapiro
This is awesome. This is so... Watch this.
He wasn't Jewish, but they would put him down there, let's be real.
It also doesn't help their case that both my wife and Ben Shapiro's wife were born in Israel, which would make them Sabras. So love Sabra, literally in this case, means Jew lover. That sounds pretty racist. And what about...
Is that not the lead? So you translated Sabra to make it so that it's okay, like... That's the least charitable interpretation of the situation possible. Like, to the point where, like, they couldn't have even thought that deeply about it. And, you're making this up. You had to translate it so that you could hurt your own feelings about it. Do you see what I'm saying? This is what a schizophrenic man does. It's like, oh, well, this means that. And then if you translate that into that means that we hate our wives, and we don't hate our wives, so they hate us because we're Jews. And it's like, what the fuck what are you saying?
How Arab are these Twitch streamers? Hold on a minute. I thought this was about hummus. I'm tired of these people gaslighting me. Haven't the Jews been gassed enough? So you're telling me you understand what
It feels like you can't make that. I'm tired of these Arabs gaslighting me. I'm a Jew. I've been gassed enough. It's like that. It feels like you can't say that. I got to be honest with you. That feels a little racist, even for, I don't know. Even though you're a Jew, it feels like you're making me uncomfortable with that. If I can say that. All right. So here's some real dumbassery.
It's been discovered around just like the entire country of Israel. It had just been discovered around the same time as this Arab tier list that Twitch had secretly,
this is interesting,
without announcing it anywhere,
crazy,
banned the entire country of Israel from creating new accounts. This was enacted right after October 7th, and it continued on for a year. And if you're wondering...
So, my quick question. Do you know if Palestinians can make Twitch accounts? I don't believe Palestinians can make Twitch accounts. That's the thing that's interesting about that. You know what I mean? So it's almost like it wasn't racist. But he wanted it to be racist, though. He wanted it to be racist so bad. And he tried. He gave it a try. But it wasn't racist. They banned everybody. Okay, so now we're going to look at the tweet from, Twitch's senior
manager of inclusive marketing, Bridget Chermatin, on October 12th. People are posting screenshots of them donating to Israel relief funds. Shake my head, y'all are truly rooting for the oppressor. Read a damn...
I love it. The point that Ethan makes about this is why I want to highlight this. Because this is awesome. It's hilarious.
This tweet was made only 5 days after the October 7th massacre. The donations she's criticizing would go to families like this. If they were still alive. This entire family was murdered in cold blood by Hamas terrorists on October 7th. Bridget, who did these little girls oppress? How can you act so high and mighty for your cause?
She has a good point. Okay, I gotta be honest. This is an ugly family. Like everybody in this is nobody cares about this family, and I think the money wouldn't have helped that family anyway. But you're not this isn't the family that you show. Like, I know that's a terrible thing to say, but like I don't really care that much. Okay, yeah. Now let's go to this Sarah Silverman tweet.
Against Jewish hate, the science is so loud. Bridget been trending. Sarah Silverman tweeted out, Kanye threatened the Jews yesterday on Twitter, and it's not even trending. Mostly only Jews speak up against Jewish hate. The science is so loud. Bridget said, this was the energy I was around when I worked with 2 Jewish women in social impact, who are both senior to me. She's trying to make Sarah Silverman seem like some kind of Jewish Karen.
She is a Jewish Karen.
About anti-Semitism. I wouldn't really care about any of this if she wasn't the head of fucking diversity at Twitch.
Okay, so but she's the head of diversity at Twitch. To that, I would say that I care about the opinions of black. I care to hear black voices more than I care to hear Jewish voices, and I think a black American has witnessed more oppression or like dealt with more firsthand hardship than any Jew in America, like fucking Sarah Silverman has. Okay, so because Kanye threatened the Jews, why isn't it trending? Well, now it's trending, but because nobody can. You're fine. Everybody's fine. That's why it's not trending. It's because you're fine. Okay, so next he's going to talk about Destiny getting banned for calling Jews inbred.
Because of these like inbred fucking disgusting losers, it's just not worth it. It's just totally.
And then
let's have a friendly place, a safe environment. It's calling a minority group inbred, which results in a permanent ban.
This is just kind of funny. This is
okay. Has anyone else done that?
The Jewish KKK brigades out there, just a bunch of fucking inbred hicks. Imagine the most inbred white supremacist guy you can imagine. Okay, every week there was another fucking psychopath.
Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of a slow burn. It's gonna go on for another minute, 20 seconds, but I just thought it was funny too. Him calling people inbred for 2 minutes, and they're calling Jews inbred specifically for 2 minutes, and not getting in trouble for it because. There is a double standard, but what do I give a shit? Okay, so now Hasan tweets this tweet. It's a Shinzo Abe reference. Shinzo Abe was like a Japanese prime minister, maybe, who got killed in Japan. That was dumb. Obviously, it was in Japan. Well, I guess it could not have been in Japan, but it was in Japan. So, all right. Anyway, he was killed with this kind of homemade weapon. Tom Cotton, some fucking fuck, is tweeting, telling people to, drive through, people blockading the road, in protest of Hamas, or in protest of Israel, rather. So he's just tweeting this,
He posted the schematics in what can only be presumed as an invitation to someone in his fan base to build this weapon and then assassinate this sitting congressperson who wrote a tweet he did not like.
Right.
I genuinely do not know how he didn't land himself in prison for making terroristic threats. Zero punishment.
So he thought that he should go to prison for making these threats, and also for Twitch to ban him. Which, by the way, what is Twitch going to do about what your Twitter is? Like, they're not a normal job. Like, you know what I mean? This isn't a normal workspace. What are they going to do? Also, just this freeze frame here. Let me move myself. This looks like a surgery before and after photo that went wrong, right? Is anybody else feeling that here? Because that's my feeling here. I don't know. I just thought that was entertaining. Okay, and then last thing here is, so he's talking about how Twitch is evil for not banning Hasan and for also letting them make this tier list. at TwitchCon, and he goes after the sponsors. He goes after the sponsors of Twitch, and is saying, you know, how are they gonna, sponsor this? Like, are you really gonna stand for this, sponsors? And I thought that it was a thing where you don't go after the sponsors, right? Because didn't this already happen with the Keemstar content nuke? And with the Keemstar content nuke, you went after sponsors at the end, and then everybody was like, oh yeah, hey, that was like maybe too far. And then didn't you walk it back and say like, oh yeah, that was too, didn't you concede to that point and say that it was too far? Or like, did that happen in another timeline? I'm confused because I thought that you said that at some point, and I don't know. You're a hypocrite and you do whatever the fuck you want. It's crazy. So that's my overview. This has been my overview of the content nuke on Hasan Piker. It was honestly a shitty video. It was, I was honestly expecting something better, and I was left disappointed because I was ready to listen. If it was something good, if he really had wrecked Hasan, this would be a different video. But that video was shit, and like it was unoriginal. There were no new points being made. Like unoriginal. It wasn't anything that I didn't know already. Really. The things that I did learn weren't really that interesting. And then this whole, the way his brain works these days is he's seriously schizophrenic. It's ridiculous. So, I don't know. This video was an interesting experience. No, honestly, Hasan has his flaws and all, but compared to Ethan Klein, it's not even close. Ethan Klein's he's bullying his Arab staff, and it's crazy shit. So yeah, fuck Ethan Klein. He's fucking shout out Hasan Piker. He's my critique of Hasan Piker is that he can never be accountable or wrong for anything. And he's really set a world up like that for himself. But so has Ethan Klein. Just as bad. He's never wrong for anything. Instead of not being wrong for anything, he doesn't drop anything either and makes everything a problem. So at least Hasan is not doing that. You know what I mean? You're making Hasan at least less annoying than fucking Ethan Klein is. So, Ethan, you lost. You suck. You're not that good. And, it's really, you're washed. It's sad. I don't know. You have $100 million. We should find that clip. You have $100 million.
Baby-brained, moronic fan base also reiterate that point over and over again while they think they're making a brilliant point because they misunderstood my initial assessment of the matter, which is that when I'm watching children get mutilated every goddamn day, I think it's a pathetically selfish way to approach that conversation from the personal feelings of a rich 100 millionaire sitting in a Bel Air mansion talking about his own goddamn feelings.
There it is. 100 millionaire. So 100 millionaire. What a shitty person to be 100 millionaire, honestly. So yeah, I'm glad I found the clip and I'm not just yapping, but now I'll have to edit that down. But anyway, yeah. So Ethan Klein, you suck. Fuck you. And yeah, shout out to Hasan Piker. He can be an idiot, but his logic is at least sound. It's not this Ethan's logic it doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean? And I don't know, it almost makes me want to go look at the other content nukes and see if they make sense. Because was Ethan always this awful? I don't think he was, but maybe H3H3 just is not what I remember it to be. And I don't know. I'm hoping it's him though and not me, and his old shit's gonna be good, but he really has just lost the plot. But I feel like I'm rambling here towards the end, so if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Please leave a like and comment, subscribe for more. Yeah, let me know what else, if you have any other things that you want me to talk about in the comments, because I don't know, I can, this is a different kind of video than videos I normally make, but I can make videos like this too, and I think it worked out, so yeah. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys soon. Alright, thanks. Love you guys. Later. Bye.